1013. Despertar a 90.
Ladies and gentlemen, my WN, and this is your Monday Night Raw, November the 22nd, 2022 review. If you guys are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, turn on that bell for all notifications. Also, hit that thumbs up on the stream. Let's get a lot of likes on the stream minimum. No excuses, no complaining. You guys can follow me on Facebook, Instagram. You can add me on Snapchat. Links to all of my accounts are in the description below. Thank you guys for joining the live chat for your Raw review. I'm not going to waste anyone's time. We're going to go ahead and get started. So I'm going to get this done early today. Get done as early as possible. So Monday Night Raw had some good parts on the show, and it also had some bad parts on the show. Overall, the best matches on this week's episode of Monday Night Raw, in my opinion, was Austin Theory versus Mustafa Ali and Rhea Ripley versus Asuka. Those were the best matches on the show, in my honest opinion. Don't get me wrong, the Brawling Brutes versus the Judgment Day was great too, but it just wasn't the best match. It didn't really stand out to me. That's the best match on the show. It was good, but it wasn't the best. So, Kevin Owens opened up the show with a promo talking about why he joined the WarGames match. He said he is specifically focused on taking out Roman Reigns. He eventually brought out the Brawling Brutes and Drew McIntyre. Now, first of all, why do we got the Brawling Brutes on Monday Night Raw? I thought WWE ended the brand splits. What's going on with the Brawling Brutes from Monday Night Raw? Is this a brand glory or something like that? What is this? What's going on here? Anyway, the Judgment Day came out to tell the Brutes and McIntyre to head back to SmackDown or show them some respect. This led to the first match of the night. Kevin Owens joined commentary while Rhea Ripley and McIntyre stood in their teams' respective corners. They returned from a break to see the contest had been made official. Yes, folks, the contest had been made official. Also, Sheamus and Damian Priest traded strikes until the Celtic Warrior tagged in Ridge Holland. Holland took a lot of damage as the opposing team traded quick tags to cut him off from his corner. Dunn was put into a similar position. He was put into a similar position through the second commercial break. The OC stopped Dominik Mysterio from trying to escape the clutches of Sheamus. Celtic Warrior was able to take control of the young star and win with a bro kick. Now, most of the people involved in this match can be considered veterans at this point in their careers, and that helped the less experienced competitors look better. Now, the pacing of the match was good because they were given enough time for everybody to have a few minutes in the ring. Even Mysterio looked better than usual. They looked really, really, really good. McIntyre, Owens, and Sheamus did a nice job while Holland and Butch were limited to say it's fight night. McIntyre hit the key point by talking about putting an end to the numbers advantage that the bloodline typically has. That said, some of you all that's watching the stream is question what the point of the brand split is if the rules are never enforced. I just said something similar to that in the open. I just said, please, why are they doing the brand inventory? What's going on here? Why do we got, I questioned that. I'm like, why do we got the Brawling Brutes on Monday Night Raw? I just said that right in the open. when they're a SmackDown tag team, not Monday Night Raw tag team. We shouldn't be having SmackDown talents on Monday Night Raw, and we darn shouldn't be having Monday Night Raw. That makes no sense. That makes no sense. They need to do something like that. They need to fix that. You know what's going on with that. And some of the geeks online been complaining about that too. I mean, do you blame them? I mean, you shouldn't have Monday Night Raw talents on Monday Night Raw and SmackDown talents on SmackDown. Not Monday Night Raw talents on SmackDown, SmackDown talents on Monday Night Raw. You guys get what I'm saying here? It's not making sense. Something ain't right with that. So, Balor attacked Sheamus after the match. You know, both Balor and Sheamus are both Irish. Gallows took out Priest with a kick. Balor was left alone in the ring. Owens entered the ring behind him, ended up kicking Balor, putting him down with a stunner while McIntyre sat back and watched in the broadcast chair that Owens vacated. That was pretty surprising if you ask me. And before that, Dom attempted to leave at one point, but the OC, AJ Styles, Luke Gallows, Corey Anderson, and Mia made their entrance. Sheamus brought Dom back to the ring. It set up for 10 beats. So Priest distracted him, and Sheamus eventually hit a double dose of 10 beats on Dom, which got a big rise out of the crowd. Sheamus followed up with a bro kick on Dom and did him. So now, I'm not going to be honest with you. From watching Monday Night Raw last night before bed, I was honestly surprised to see Dominik take the pin. But it's not like, doesn't have enough heat to balance right back. Ripley was good at ringside when she was yelling at Dom to get out of the ring while Sheamus was setting up for the bro kick. Johnny Gargano was shown walking backstage. Kathy Kelly caught up with him and spoke about facing The Miz in a rematch. Gargano said he and Dexter Lumis had an agreement that Lumis wouldn't get involved in his business tonight. Also, when he said that, Gargano said that he won't get involved in Lumis's face. He wouldn't get involved in Lumis's business when he faces Miz next week. Graves thanked Uzi Osbourne for Parasite, I guess, being one of the Survivor Series WarGames theme songs. Yes, Johnny Gargano got a new theme song. We're actually going to go over that. I got some news on that. Gargano made his entrance for his match. And speaking of news, I have your WWE and AEW Tuesday afternoon news that we're going to go over right after the review. Some very important news that you guys need to keep note on. And I also have your Monday Night Raw news as well. The Miz came out in non-wrestling attire and had his hand bandaged. Miz claimed he suffered an injury filming a TikTok video. Obviously, it sounded to me like Miz faked his injury just by the way he said it. I wouldn't be surprised if I end up being right. He said he knows Gargano goes by Johnny Wrestling and wants to impress everyone. So did he actually did the right thing by finding a worthy opponent? Omos made his entrance with MVP while Gargano pretty much looked dejected in the ring. Sorry, y'all. I got a message from somebody. I had to accept it. I got an important message. So we got Omos with MVP versus Gargano. The Miz sat in on commentary. Gargano ended up at ringside during the opening minute Omos followed and pressed his head into the broadcast table before throwing him back inside the ring. Gargano drop-kicked Omos through the ropes and then hit him with a suicide dive. Gargano returned to the ring and he pretty much dove over the top rope. Omos caught him and dropped him on the ring apron. I don't know why we got Omos still being used on television. Get him off of TV. He is terrible. Seriously. I don't know why they got him on television. They should have been done let him go after the Crown Jewel pay-per-view. I don't understand why he's still there. I don't get it. Gargano threw a couple of kicks at Omos. It then set up for a move on the apron. Miz left the broadcast table and pulled Gargano to the floor. Omos grabbed a distracted Gargano by the head and set up for his finisher, but Gargano delivered a knee to his head. Omos charged Gargano, who moved, causing Omos to hit his head on the ring post, casing. Omos fell to the mat. Gargano superkicked Omos 3 times while he was down on his side. Gargano went up top and dove at Omos, who caught him by the throat. Omos stood up, chokeslammed Gargano, then covered him for the win. I guess you could pretty much consider this as Omos' biggest win of his career, so to speak. Now, as far as Gargano goes, I guess it went much better than you would have anticipated in terms of making Gargano look good in defeat. I don't know if I'd say that or not, but I'm pretty sure you guys also got a kick out of The Miz on commentary, acting like he was doing Gargano a favor by giving him a chance to prove himself. A couple of notable moments and observations in this Judgment Day versus Brawling Brutes match. Just to get you guys away from that Omos versus Johnny Gargano match a little bit, because I know you guys didn't enjoy that match. I know you enjoyed Gargano doing more in the ring than Omos. The Brawling Brutes and McIntyre coming through the crowd felt like an intentional Shield reference, since they had actually the 100th anniversary of the group's debut. And also, talk about notable moments, there was a banger cooking on the stove. Should be a permanent catchphrase for Sheamus. And then the Celtic Warrior Priest worked well together. It would be a fun singles feud with some stiff matches. We could see Sheamus versus Damian Priest for the next pay-per-view, but they're on different brands, so I doubt that. The match between Gargano, back to the match between Gargano and Omos, it wasn't much. But even though none of us are huge fans of Omos, even though Omos is absolutely terrible in the ring, I will say that this was probably one of the best bouts that Omos has had on Raw, because Gargano made everything entertaining. Gargano tried to make him look good. He always makes everybody look good. Gargano does. Now, there are a few people who probably won't understand Miz's line about owning a cactus, should I say, in California. The look on Gargano's face when Omos came out was absolutely perfect. Absolutely fantastic, man. Really was. We got Mustafa Ali versus Austin Theory, one of the best matches on this week's episode of Raw, in my honest opinion. Nobody can tell me otherwise. Seth Rollins and Austin Theory each gave separate promos and interviews before the former Mr. Money in the Bank took on Mustafa Ali in the next match. Ali still had his ribs wrapped pretty much. Yep, he had his ribs wrapped up to sell an injury still. So Theory was sure to target his mixed session right away with some shoulder thrusts in the corner. The 25-year-old had the upper hand for a long time, But then Ali turned him inside out with a tornado DDT to give himself a little breathing room. Ali hit the 450 splash, but was unable to make the cover before Theory rolled out of the ring. I thought I seen a bug flying around me. That's why I was doing that. After he recovered, Theory hit A-Town down for the win. This was a very solid match that helped. One of the best matches, easily one of the best matches on this week's episode of Monday Night Raw. It was a solid match that helped establish Theory as a dangerous talent moving forward. See, it had some good things on Raw, it had some bad things on Raw. This was one of the good things on Monday Night Raw. Bobby Lashley appeared on the big screen and told Theory not to move because he would be heading to the ring during the break. They traded some insults before getting into a fight. The Almighty no-sold a chair shot and chased him out of the arena. Lashley ended up taking out his frustrations on Ali. I guess that seemingly means that Bobby Lashley is still a heel on Monday Night Raw. Bobby Lashley is good as a heel and a babyface. He can get it done. He can always get it done, man. I don't watch Elevation and Dark no more, Hassan. The shows have been terrible the last few weeks. That's why I stopped going live for my watch-alongs, my Dark and Elevation watch-along. They need to start booking real matches to keep me invested in watching. They booking squash matches after squash matches every week. That's not going to have people like me watching. I'm sorry. Who watches that shit? Squash matches, really? When you could book real matches, competition matches, book matches that Dynamite book for their shows. That's what Dark and Elevation needs to be doing. 20-second matches, man. Come on. You serious? Give me a break. Austin Theory was shown watching the Rollins interview on a backstage monitor. Theory turned and looked into the camera and said Rollins doesn't understand him. Nobody does. He said hitting rock bottom may have been the best thing that ever happened to him. Theory said he's a new man. Theory told his opponents. He told his opponents to watch what he does because it would likely be the result when they met on Saturday. And I can honestly say that this week's episode of Monday Night Raw was easily better than this week's episode of AEW Dark Elevation. Yeah, I seen Elevation. I immediately changed it to something else. When I saw Elevation and I saw some of the garbage on that show, I said, you know what? Channel changing time. Channel changing time. It was terrible. A few notable moments in this match between Ali and Theory. When Theory was being serious and not acting like an immature idiot. I thought they were going to say glittering idiot, but okay. He is easier to handle. The pre-match promo he gave was decent. Ali's tornado DDT was picture perfect. Theory did a great job manipulating his body weight to sell the move too. The sunset flip, powerbomb they performed in the corner looked great. It was a move that is easily to screw up, but they actually hit it flush. Now, Lashley got a great reaction and played into it, so maybe he isn't a heel just yet. Maybe. Not yet. Anyway. It seems like he's playing both roles, playing both as a face and a heel. That's what it seems like. Now, the triple threat is a welcome addition to the Survivor Series WarGames event. Will easily be one of the best triple threat matches on that card. Or should I say the best match on the Survivor Series WarGames card. It's interesting that Rollins is working as a babyface and continues to take credit for Cody Rhodes' injury. Now, Mustafa Ali made his entrance with ribs wrapped I think the reason why he took credit for Cody Rhodes' injury because, Seth Rollins, he's had some injuries in the past too. So I can see why he took credit for Cody Rhodes' injury. So it was hour 2 of Monday Night Raw last night, and Austin Theory made his entrance. Graves said he thinks it's a mistake for Ali to face this version of Theory while dealing with an injury ribs. As I said, I'm going to repeat it once again, just because it was the best match on Monday Night Raw. It was a solid match that helped establish Theory as a dangerous talent moving forward. It was. Really was. I'm not kidding. And then, Ali's Tornado DDT was picture perfect. That was another good thing on Monday Night Raw. And the other good thing was Theory doing a good job manipulating his body weight to sell the move, too. It was great. It's fantastic. And the cameraman did a great job camera shooting that body weight. They did a good job shooting Ali's DDT. Recording. You know what they do. You know what the cameramans do on Monday Night Raw. You guys know. I shouldn't have to explain it. I hope we get another Austin Theory versus Ali match sometime, dude. I know everybody wouldn't mind seeing Austin Theory and Ali go at it again. Give me that. Austin Theory's a powerhouse in the high flyer, and Ali is just a high flyer. And I think he's a striker, too. Baby. We got Alpha Academy versus Elias and Matt Riddle. This was not the best match on the show, but it was decent for what it was. Elias and Matt Riddle teamed up to take on Chad Gable and Otis this week. The Kroner and the Olympians started for their teams with a quick exchange of holds and takedowns. They returned from break to see Gable on defensive against the original Bro. Once Otis tagged in, took over. Riddle was fighting to stay in the match. And then, particularly, Elias was able to regain, yes, folks, he was able to regain control for his team after a hot tag. But Otis ended up catching him for a slam against the barricade, basically. At the same time as Gable suplexed Riddle on the apron, too. Both teams had a few close calls. Elias and Riddle ultimately scored the win by hitting their finishers on Gable. Guys, this is my very first Monday Night Raw review since last month. Ever since last month, the last Monday Night Raw review that I went live with was the one on October the 18th, 2022, where Elias made his return to Monday Night Raw, where Cora Jade picked Rhea as Roxanne's opponent for NXT. That is the last time I did my Monday Night Raw review. The last time ever. That is the last time you've heard my Monday Night Raw review, legitimately. That was the best Monday Night Raw that they had, the one where Elias returned. That's why I did the Monday Night Raw review. The reason why I went live with the Monday Night Raw review this week, because it was great. The show was great. There was a few bad things on the show. There was some good things. There was mostly some good things on the show. The matches were great. All the matches were great, man, except for Omos. All the talents did great except for Omos. Anyways, both teams had a few close calls. Elias and Riddle ultimately scored the win by hitting their finishers on Gable. All in all, I'd say this was a relatively standard WWE style tag team match. Somebody get this troll out of my chat. 69XX Fun. Get him out. Get him out of my chat. Where's my moderators? My moderators should be voting him from the chat. Get him out. Both teams had time to shine. And the combo of Riddle and Elias seemed over with the crowd. So it wouldn't be shocked. It wouldn't be shocking if they teamed up for a while until WWE figures out plans for each man on his own. Well, guess what? If my moderators ain't going to boot him out, I'm going to boot him out myself. Get out. Get out of my chat. Stop spamming. So, noble moments here for this match between Alpha Academy, Elias, and Matt Riddle. Elias and Gable had great chemistry. Very, very great chemistry. The Musican is a better wrestler than a lot of people might think because he doesn't always work a technical style. Gable's Northern Light suplex is always a thing of beauty, as always. The suplex Gable hit on the apron looked painful. Riddle was going to be sore in the morning. Oh, I'm sure of it. The way Riddle took Gable out of the ring with a head scissor looked very, very, very rough. I must say. Very, very rough. Now, it was like I said, it wasn't the best match. It was it was decent, solid for what it was. Very, very solid for what it was. It was a good match that killed a lot of television time. But let's be honest. Despite the fact that Riddle and Elias are doing good, I'm not a fan of this pairing. They need to get Elias away from Riddle. Get Riddle away from Elias. That's the way I see it. They are singles competitors, not the tag team. Separate them effectively immediately. This is not the season where we should be pairing up tag teams again. No. Now, going back to Austin Theory, Bobby Lashley. Going back to Austin Theory and Bobby Lashley, the new improved Theory is a big improvement. Now, I'm pretty sure you guys like the way he stood his ground shit to Lashley rather than backing down in fear. I know I did too. I did as well. Granted, he ended up running away after Lashley no-sold the chair shot. They still managed to establish that Theory is now a grown man and not the doofus kid who took selfies and sucked up to Vince McMahon. Meanwhile, Ali just continues off like a punching bag hairstyle. It doesn't really work for him, you know. That's coming from a bold guy. So consider the source, really. Baron Corbin counted his poker chips while JBL sat beside him. Both men took jabs at the host crew, or should I say host city. Drew McIntyre showed up. JBL took a shot at Scotland for not making the World Cup. McIntyre challenged Corbin to a match. Why is McIntyre on Monday Night Raw when he should be on SmackDown? See what I'm saying? See what I mean by these brand inventories? See what I mean by when they need to start ending the brand splits? It's making me, when I see Drew McIntyre on Monday Night Raw, it's making me suspect to believe that WWE hasn't ended the brand splits yet. If they haven't ended the brand splits yet, they need to end the brand splits now. Keep the talents on the right brand. If you put talents like Drew McIntyre on Monday Night Raw, that's gonna mess things up, man, for them. And then that's gonna get them confused. They're not gonna know which talent should be on which brand, you know, which should be on their respective brands and all that. So it's just confusing when you showcase talent from SmackDown to Monday Night Raw. It just messes up your agenda, you know, creatively. Now, Corbin said they could handle it on the spot. McIntyre said he respects his elders, but not you. McIntyre said before decking Corbin, the broadcast team pretty much spoke about WarGames. Graves noted the match is the creation of the late Dusty Rhodes. A video package on the WarGames match was shown. The broadcast team ran through previously advertised Survivor Series WarGames match, including the newly added Rollins versus Lashley versus Theory match for the United States title. That's officially booked for Survivor Series. I have that in my. If you got look and actually look at the top, you'll see it. Baron Corbin and JBL made their entrance. Drew McIntyre made his entrance with his sword in hand. We got Drew McIntyre versus Baron Corbin. McIntyre was dominant to start and clothesline Corbin the top rope to the floor. McIntyre went to ringside and ran Corbin into the barricade. McIntyre picked up Corbin, dumped him on the broadcast table. McIntyre tossed Corbin back inside the ring and then got distracted by JBL, which allowed Corbin to go on the offensive. Corbin sucks chant broke out. Man, really, if he does, though. McIntyre railed with a suplex and a neck breaker. McIntyre kept up. Corbin avoided a future shock DDT. Yep. McIntyre put him down with a Michinoku driver. That's what they call it. For a near fall. Corbin caught McIntyre going for a running crossbody block and performed a fallaway slam. McIntyre performed a Glasgow kiss. But Corbin pounced off the ropes and put him down with a clothesline. McIntyre got a near fall following a spinebuster. McIntyre set up for a future shot DDT. Corbin pushed him into the ropes and then tripped him. Once he tripped him, Corbin chokeslammed McIntyre to the mat. It covered him for a 2 count. Corbin went for end of days, but McIntyre slipped away and put Corbin down for a clunky future shot DDT. So then McIntyre went for a Claymore kick. Corbin avoided it. Corbin hoisted up McIntyre and slammed him to the mat. Once he slammed him to the mat, he covered him for a 2 count. Corbin went for end of days. McIntyre slipped away and put Corbin down with a clunky future shot DDT. I'm not going to let that ruin my review. I don't know why I get calls like that every time I go live my reviews. That's so annoying. I hate that. As if they don't care. As if people care about my reviews. McIntyre went for a Claymore kick, but Corbin avoided it. Corbin hoisted up McIntyre, slammed him to the mat with a modified Samoan drop for a 2 count. McIntyre rolled to ringside. Corbin followed and hit him with punches to the back of the head. Corbin ran McIntyre into the ring post. That just drove that freaking sound just drove one of my audience away. See, this is why I hate when people always got to ruin everything I dare and do. Makes me so mad. Corbin followed and hit him with punches to the back of the head. Corbin ran McIntyre in the ring post. Corbin tripped McIntyre, who suplexed him into the barricade. Maybe I should just take the scissors and cut the phone cord completely to where I won't hear that darn sound again. That's what I should do. Take the scissors and cut the phone cord. Maybe people will stop calling. People are just so rude. They don't care. They don't see that I'm live with a review or watch along. Every time I do it, I get phone calls every time. And then I get text messages on my phone. As if they don't know what I'm doing on YouTube. As if they give a fuck. Corbin charged McIntyre, who suplexed him into the barricade. McIntyre threw Corbin back inside the ring and then played to the out. McIntyre started a countdown. He was distracted by JBL. Climbing onto the apron. McIntyre called Corbin, who hit him with a deep six for a near fall. Corbin barked the referee about his count. Akira Tozawa showed up on the broadcast table with his old gimmick. He brought his old gimmick back, wearing actual ring gear, and waved at Corbin. Tozawa stole JBL's hat in the ring. McIntyre hit Corbin with a Claymore kick and then pinned him. So basically, McIntyre wins all thanks to Akira Tozawa. All thanks to the help of Akira Tozawa, man. The OC was shown talking backstage. Broadcast team said the OC would be featured in an interview after the break. I just want to say, get Kevin Patrick off of commentary. He's not good on commentary. He's terrible. I agree with JD. I also think Kevin Patrick needs to get off commentary. He's terrible. Absolutely terrible. Corey Grace is great on commentary. Kevin Patrick, no. Get him out. Get him out. Get him off commentary. This was a good match, aside from the clunky future shot DDT and the bad finish. It's a shame because they had a couple of teases for the DDT before McIntyre can even hit the Butch version of it on the third try. Meanwhile, I have no idea why the creative forces felt the need to go with a shitty distraction finish just to protect Corbin when there's no sign that his act with JBL is clicking. Grace plugged an Undertaker NFT that goes on sale tomorrow, which is today, which happens to be today, actually. The broadcast team recapped the opening six-man tag match. We got AJ Styles, Luke Gallows, Carl Anderson, and BM being interviewed in the backstage area by Kathy Kelly. Styles said he and Finn Balor were close, but he's come to realize that the OC is his family. Styles said he would give Balor the beating he deserves and would make it phenomenal. I'm sorry, guys. I had to get up and cancel that sound that was on my telephone. I don't want people calling here and ruin my review, man. I hate that. Especially if it's a very important, serious review. My reviews and my watch-alongs are very serious on the channel. I know some people are probably looking at it and probably like, oh, his reviews ain't that serious. Oh, his watch-alongs ain't that serious. Yeah, they are. Especially if I got 486 subscribers. Break. That's people got some nerve to be saying that my reviews and watch-along ain't that serious. Shut the fuck up. You don't know what I do on my channel. I've been improving, and I continue to improve each and every week on this channel. Whether I get dislikes, whether the trolls try to spam my chat to distract me, I'm not gonna let trolls in my chat spam me and distract me. I'm not gonna let freaking phone calls or noises freaking interrupt me. Next time I'm gonna be doing. I'm gonna be canceling the noise out. Because I don't want shit like that when I'm doing my reviews and watch-alongs. It's rude and it's disrespectful. Simple as that. You don't, when somebody's in the middle of a freaking review or a watch-along. No, you don't do that. I don't care who's calling. You don't do that. You've got no business doing that. I should have just said I don't give a damn who's calling, but I didn't want to say it that way. Anyways, he and Finn Balor were close. He's come to realize that the OC is his family. Styles that he would give Balor and beating he would get Balor the beating he deserves and get phenomenal. Balor showed up. Actually, he's a bad guy. Balor's worse. He's the devil. He said, when you dance with the devil, you never dance again. The other Judgment Day members showed up and a big brawl broke out. The brawl spilled out into the park. into the parking area outside the arena. A group of referees and securities showed up to calm them down. Yeah, calm down and ain't that serious. I'm just joking. Now, I could have saved those for a later day, in my opinion. I don't know why. They should just say that, but all I'm going to say is they should just say that for a later day. Go with a Survivor Series elimination match, even if it means going with fewer wrestlers on each side than usual. And it's great that WWE has added WarGames to the show and ditched the awful brand supremacy nonsense. But, you know, I'd still like to see at least one elimination match, maybe. I'm pretty sure you guys would like to see one elimination match, too. I don't know. I feel like the elimination match is the vibe of the pay-per-views. That's just me. I legitimately feel like the elimination matches really, really, really ruins the build and the vibes and all that stuff for certain pay-per-views, man, like this. A video taunted tickers. They taunted tickets being on sale for the WrestleMania Hollywood Week events. And speaking of Mania, I do have some news on WrestleMania that we're going to go over here in a little while. Along with your other WWE and AEW Tuesday afternoon news. So, Belair, Asuka, and Alexa made their entrance to Belair's theme. The broadcast team noted that Mia Yim was involved in the backstage brawl. Not Mia Kim, you geeks. Get your minds out of the gutter. Anyways. Was involved in the backstage brawl and was not with her WarGames teammates. Belair said her battle with Bayley would finally come to an end at WarGames. She said she knew she couldn't win it alone and said there's nobody she'd rather go to war with than her girls. Belair introduced her partners. Belair said they are ready for war. Bliss said she wants to throw Nikki Cross in the trash where she belongs. Asuka yelled that we are ready for you, but nobody is ready for us. Belair said wait until they see who their fifth teammate is, which I think it's going to be Sasha Banks still. I don't care what the Nimroded geeks in the IWC community have to say about it. I really don't. I'm talking about the WWE, AEW negative shields and the E-drones. She said they would make their decision on SmackDown. And can you believe the Tony Storm geeks in the community are still crying that Tony Storm lost? Oh, Tony Storm lost because of Tony Khan and their shitty creator. No. That's not, and it wasn't their shitty creative. It was the right decision. Tony Storm's reign to an end. It was already rumored that Tony Storm was dropping the title to Jamie Hayter. It happened. So get over it. Really. Get over it. It's long gone. It's over. It's done. Jamie Hayter is the AEW Interim Women's Champion, whether you like it or not. She's going to be a fighting AEW Interim Women's Champion. She's going to be the best AEW Interim Women's Champion ever. Even though if Thunder Rosa would have came back and defended her AEW Women's Championship against Jamie Hayter at All Out, if Jamie Hayter would have been the AEW Women's World Champion, they would have never introduced the AEW Interim Women's Championship. It would have never been introduced. It would have never existed. If you guys understand what I'm saying. But anyways, back to what I was reading. So Bianca Belair said, wait until they see who their fifth teammate is, which I think is still Sasha Banks. She said she would make their decision on SmackDown and said the fans would not be disappointed. There were some boos from the crowd over not getting the reveal at their show. I mean, do you blame them? They need to reveal the fifth member before Survivor Series, because if they end up doing it at Survivor Series, it's going to kill the entire fucking match. I feel like them reviewing the fifth member at Survivor Series is going to kill the entire match. I really do. I really do. They need to do it right. They need to make the right decision. Decide who the fifth member is before Survivor Series, because if you don't, it's not gonna go well. It's not gonna go well for the women. It's really not. So there were some boos from the crowd, as I said. Bayley led Rhea Ripley, Nikki Cross. Thank God we don't have to call her Nikki Trash anymore. Io Sky and Dakota Kai to the ring. Bayley mocked the idea of Belair's team having another partner. Bayley said no one respects Belair, including her own teammates, who just want to be next in line for a shot at the championship. Bayley ran down Belair. Don't even know what I was about to say. And her partners. Then said Belair was throwing Asuka in the advantage match rather than stepping up on her own. Asuka told her to shut up and call for the match to happen on the spot. Ripley said she would eradicate Asuka. She would eradicate Asuka just as she did at WrestleMania. So we got the main event of this week's episode of Monday Night Raw. It was Rhea Ripley versus Asuka, a WarGames advantage match. I mean, you guys already know the answers to who won, and I mean, clearly it says on my thumbnail that Rhea Ripley's team has the WarGames advantage ahead of Survivor Series. So who you think won the match? Rhea Ripley, obviously. But I'm just going to go over the match in case you guys don't understand. Put it that way. The moments and the observations in King Corbin and Drew McIntyre's match, uninteresting. But neither guy are my favorites. I'm not a fan of either. But so Rhea Ripley versus Asuka. Now, as far as that match goes, the Judgment Day and the OC ended up getting into a huge brawl backstage that spilled out into the parking lot. When they returned from break, the two teams in the women's war match gave some promos before Asuka and Rhea met for a bout. The winning would give the advantage with entries during Saturday's contest. As expected, Rhea Ripley and Asuka had a competitive match that allowed both to play to their strengths. The Empress of Tomorrow was all about the strikes. Will the Nightmare keep trying to overpower her at some distractions? Ripley was able to get the win with a riptide. Now, it was a solid main event between two of the toughest women on the roster. This was the second and last best match on Monday Night Raw, in my honest opinion. WarGames should be a lot of fun if this was a preview. The show ended with both teams fighting at ringside. And Monday, and just like that, Monday Night Raw goes off the air. But the main event also never got out of the second gear. The outcome also felt predictable. And then, given that the heels typically have the advantage in WarGames match. Post-match brawl was absolutely fine for what it was. Though hardly memorable, considering that there was another brawl involving the OC Judgment Day. I just went over that, proceeded the main event. Now, overall, the use of the Brawling Brutes and Drew McIntyre goes against the rules of the nearly forgotten brand split. It does. But there's no denying that they helped make this a better show. While it's disappointing that we have to wait until Friday to find out the identity of the fifth women, or should I say fifth woman, on the babyface team. This was an effective go-home show with a lot of hype for Survivor Series, WarGames. But I hate to say it, but at the same time, there was also no build on this show. There was zero build. Despite a decent episode of Monday Night Raw, there was no build on this show, and I've noticed that right off the bat when I read the results before I went live with the review. The only build we got was on SmackDown. SmackDown last week got built. This week's episode of Monday Night Raw didn't get any build, which is not good for Monday Night Raw. We're probably going to continue to see some more build on this week's episode of Friday Night SmackDown, which I'm not going to be able to watch SmackDown because I'll be at the bowling alley with my job. But I will be live for the AEW Rampage watch-along this Friday night. My SmackDown and Rampage review will be live this Saturday afternoon. I will watch SmackDown immediately after Rampage to find out what happened. I'll probably watch the video clips and read the results and see what I can get out of that. Well, guys, that's going to do it for your Monday Night Raw review. If you guys are new to the channel, man, hit that subscribe button. And hit that freaking thumbs up. No excuses. I want to see a lot of likes on the stream. And let me know your thoughts on my Monday Night Raw review. Let me know whether I did good or need to improve more or what. Let me know your thoughts. And let me know how good I did. Also, my AEW Dynamite watch along and review will be live this afternoon, or not this afternoon, but tomorrow night. I don't know why I'm getting my stuff mixed up today. I don't know what's wrong with me. I think I just took my medicine early and it's starting to kind of kick in a little bit. Because I did just take my medicine like about 2 hours ago. Well, yes, your AEW Dynamite watch along and review, both the watch along and review will be live tomorrow night. I will have the Dynamite watch along and review scheduled early because I will be working morning shift tomorrow. So, before the watch along, I am going to give you guys a little bit of your Wednesday night news, and then I'll probably end up giving you more Wednesday. You know what? This is how I'm going to do it. So I'm going to be live with the AEW Dynamite watch along tomorrow night, and then I'm going to be live for the AEW Dynamite review. Then after the review, I'm going to give you guys your WWE AEW Wednesday night news. That's how I'm going to do it. If you guys have any questions about all that, please let me know. I would really appreciate it. If you like the background, please let me know. Let me know what other backgrounds you guys want to see from my Monday Night Raw, NXT, SmackDown watch-alongs and reviews, as well as my Dynamite watch-alongs and reviews and Rampage as well. Let me know what specific new content you want to see on the channel, whether it's Xenoverse 2 content or Naruto content. Let me know. Guys, I'll be right back. I'm going to go take a short break. I got to go use the restroom. I go get my work clothes here. And I'll probably fix me a little bit of chips. And when I come back, I'm going to go over your WWE and AEW Tuesday afternoon news for November the 22nd, 2022. So when I come back, I'm going to go over your WWE and AEW Tuesday afternoon news for your November the 22nd, 2022. Tuesday afternoon. So don't go anywhere. I will be right back. Your WWE and AEW Tuesday afternoon news is coming up next here on the IWN YouTube channel. Don't go anywhere. I will be right back in 5 minutes. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm back. I'm back from break. And now it is time for me to go over your WWE and AEW Tuesday afternoon news for November the 22nd, 2022. We're going to start with the WWE Tuesday afternoon news. We're going to start with the WWE news on Brandi Rhodes. So, Brandi Rhodes has no plans, apparently, to wrestle right now. So it says here that Brandi Rhodes has not entered the ring since she took part in AEW Dark Elevation in January after coming back in December 2021. Now, following her pregnancy, she actually departed in AEW in February alongside her husband. Cody Rhodes. Now, however, Brandi actually received shared an update regarding her future in the ring. It appears that she has no plans to enter into it right now. Now, even though Brandi Rhodes was alongside Cody behind the scenes at WrestleMania 38, she hasn't really formally joined the WWE. She hasn't formally joined WWE yet. Brandi Rhodes recently appeared on the 10 Count podcast, where she spoke to Steve Fall about her intentions for the future in professional wrestling. So it says here, and I quote, "I'm the one that's very big in the family," or not saying absolutes. As we know, my husband likes to say absolutes, then life happens. Then Brandi Rhodes goes on to say that I'm not going to say absolutes, but I will say right now it's not in my plan. I kind of did myself a good service in taking a beat. My number one priority when everything happened and we left AEW, my number one priority was making sure my husband's dream was realized. It's been a dream in the making for him since he was 4 years old. It's a good thing that we pressed forward and got to see this through. I was always on the back burner and working on other things. I got shoot of Brandi in the ether. I started doing this podcast. I have other things cooking in the non-wrestling world. In that period of time, I got to spend a lot of time with my daughter. I got to watch her develop in these undisputed ways and find these different times or different things that she is thriving at and liking. I want to be a part of that. And then she goes on to say that she goes on to say that when I look at life in wrestling, there is the inevitable travel, and it's the choice you have to make, that you travel with your child or not. If I were to travel with my child, I'm taking her away from some environments she's pretty much used to. I won't say no. It's not going to happen, but I will say right now it's not front of mind for me, end quote. Brandi, however, stated in July that she's pretty much preparing for a potential return to the ring. She currently hosts 2 Lies and 1 Truth podcasts about parenting. I have to see if Brandi Rhodes ever makes a return to pro wrestling and which company will host that comeback if the day ever comes. So, what do you guys think about Brandi Rhodes' plans? Let me know in the live chats, please. Lisa, thank you. I really appreciate it. All right, moving on to the next news. This one is on AJ Styles. AJ Styles hasn't won a WWE match, or should I say a WWE Premium Live match in 3 years. He has not won a WWE Premium Live Event match in 3 years. That's crazy. Wow. AJ Styles hasn't been considered, he has been considered one of the best pro wrestlers by both fans and his peers alike, while he has won multiple titles all over the world and had a solid run in WWE. His most recent statics in WWE is actually a shockingly bad one. Wow. Says Ringside News. That's what they said, not what I said. After appearing in the 2016 Royal Rumble, AJ Styles competed in several high-profile feuds against stars such as Randy Orton, John Cena, and many others. His journey to WWE was certainly a long and arduous one. Let me turn on the light, guys, because I noticed that you guys can't see me, and I'm sorry. I meant to turn it off before I went back live. I just didn't want my audience leaving me, you know. But anyways, back to what I was reading. According to Pro Fight DB, AJ Styles actually hadn't won a singles match at a premium live event in 3 years. Oh, speaking of wrestling with Russo, Vince Russo talked about AJ Styles' statics. Clear, he was shot by. This is what he said. He said, and I quote, somebody put up a graphic today. It was like AJ hadn't won a pay-per-view match in 3 years or something. Then he goes on to say, they're obviously going with Judgment Day, but however, bro, if AJ Styles has not won a singles match that long in a pay-per-view, this is the chance to give him a win because he's beating Finn Balor in a singles match. So Judgment Day really isn't getting beat. Now, my thing is, how would Vince Russo know when he doesn't watch WWE anymore, when he doesn't write for the company anymore? So if it were me, because I did not realize, bro, he's gone that long, you got to give AJ a win at some point, bro. I mean, he does have a point, but how does he know? How does he know that he hasn't won 3 matches in 3 years? How does he know that? That's what I don't understand. So that's what all he said, end quote. I can't understand how Vince Russo know all this. I don't get it. But Styles' last one on a premium live event was at Crown Jewel in 2019. AJ Styles will be squaring off against Finn Balor at Survivor Series on November 26th. We'll have to wait and see whether Styles will win the match or not. That is going to be a clash for the ages, boy. Oh my God. They were both Bullet Club members, too. That's another reason why it's going to be good. And then, on top of that, they have great chemistry as well. I am huge fans of AJ Styles. I'm a huge fan of AJ Styles and Finn Balor. They are great. Huge fan of Finn Balor's Demon character and his Prince character way back in NXT. A huge fan of the OC AJ Styles and the babyface AJ Styles. Well, I like the babyface and heel AJ Styles. I like the heel and babyface Finn Balor. What's y'all's take on what he said? Let me know. What's y'all's take on Vince Russo? Do you think he's great? Do you think his opinions and takes are awful? Do you think his opinions and takes are great? Let me know. Moving on to the next news on WWE and the Survivor Series WarGames. So apparently WWE called out. They were called out for not enough promotion. Yes, folks. I will repeat it again in case you didn't understand. WWE was called out for not doing enough to promote Survivor Series WarGames. That's what I was trying to say. Now, why WWE called out for not doing enough to promote Survivor Series WarGames? I have your answers right here on the IWN YouTube channel. It says here, that the Survivor Series WarGames is approaching, and the event will be here before we know it, says Ringside News. There is a lot of expectation for the show after WWE added WarGames to one of its big four pay-per-views. The show's lack of announced matches at this stage of promotion, however, has raised a lot of concerns. Why? Oh, and get this. I just went over what Vince Russo said about Styles versus Balor. Here it is. His name being mentioned again in the article. Former WWE head writer Vince Russo recently blasted the company for failing to generate enough buzz. And here I am questioning, how does Vince Russo know that AJ Styles hasn't won a match in 3 years, knowing Vince Russo is not a writer for WWE anymore? I didn't think he watches WWE anymore, to be honest. Where's he getting all this info? Where's he getting all his opinions from? I got to question that. But Vince Russo recently blasted the company for failing to generate enough buzz around the year's last premium live event. I said promo. Jesus Christ. We're not talking about Monday Night Raw where Drew McIntyre and Roman Reigns can promo. We're not talking about that. We're talking about premium live event. We're talking about Vince Russo. Survivor Series. He should know about this kind of thing, because Russo was backstage for some massively historic Survivor Series moments. Survivor Series WarGames will be held this year at TD Garden in Boston, Massachusetts. WWE will abandon the brand versus brand concept in favor of the deadly WarGame structure. As you all know, I will be live with your WWE 2022 Survivor Series WarGames watch along, as well as the review. The review will come shortly after the watch along this Saturday night. So make sure everybody is there, and I want the biggest audience that I can get in the live chats for that pay-per-view. I'm gonna have Survivor Series. I'm gonna have the Survivor Series thumbnail and background done as early as I'd say this Wednesday, or maybe this Thursday. I'll probably have it done this Thursday night or this Thursday evening. Or maybe this Thursday afternoon. Who knows? But I will have it done as early as either Wednesday or Thursday. That way, Survivor Series watch along and my Survivor Series review will already be scheduled. That way, you guys can go in there, say what you have to say in the live chat. You can hit thumbs up on it, watch schedule to go live. Every time I schedule a watch along and review, you guys are more than welcome to comment in the live chat. You guys are more than welcome to share my watch alongs and reviews. Let everybody know, hey, IWN is trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. IWN is trying to get to 4,000 watch hours as well. Monetization, please subscribe. Give his watch along or review a thumbs up, if you will. You can say stuff like that, or, you know, just to get more people, just to generate more interest in one channel. So, but yeah, it'll be held in Massachusetts. WWE will abandon the brand concept in favor of the deadly WarGames structure, which will finally make its debut on the main roster. The stipulation, which was initially introduced to the WWE Universe in NXT, will feature a women's and men's match. On a recent episode of Writing with Vince Russo, the wrestling veteran revealed that with only a few days till the premium live event, WWE has been unable to generate buzz for the match. Says here, and I quote, this is what Vince Russo said. He said, I mean, honestly, are we being critical by saying that? He questioned that. And then he said, to me, that's somebody not doing their job. Like, is it critical for me to say that? It's like 10 days away, whatever it is, if we don't. And then he continues on to say, I don't understand the reasoning behind that. I just don't. End quote. There are only 4 matches listed for Survivor Series, which takes place in less than a week. Actually, there are 5 matches on the pay-per-view now, because remember, I recently, in my Monday Night Raw review, not too long ago, I did say that the United States Triple Threat match is officially booked for Survivor Series. So that's 5 matches. So I guess we're only getting 5 matches for Survivor Series, which is not bad. It's not bad at all. Now, Survivor Series takes place less than a week. More matches could be added to the card, like the United States Championship match. That was added to the card. And the event will include a SmackDown Women's Championship contest between Ronda Rousey and Shotzi Blackheart, as well as singles match between AJ Styles and Finn Balor, which we went over, I went over Vince Russo's opinions and thoughts on that. Bianca Belair, Asuka, Alexa Bliss, Mia Yim, and a mystery member, which will be Sasha Banks, in my opinion, will compete against Damage Control. Because Sasha Banks and Bayley have so much chemistry and so much history between one another. That's why I think it'll be Sasha Banks. It has to be Sasha Banks. It's got to be. It's got to be, man. Which includes Nikki Cross and Rhea Ripley in the women's WarGames match. The Bloodline, led by Roman Reigns, will be the main event. They will be going up against the Brawling Brutes, Drew McIntyre and Kevin Owens in the men's WarGames encounter, which I was right. I knew Kevin Owens was going to be the 5th member. I was right again. If you guys missed my WWE and AEW Monday afternoon news live stream, go check it out. Go give it a thumbs up. I really appreciate it. Share it to all social media platforms. And if you guys missed the news from yesterday that I gave out on there, like I said, go check it out. Go listen to it. I would really, really, really solidly appreciate it. Now, it remains to be seen whether more matches besides the United States Championship match will be added to the premium live event during the upcoming episodes of Raw and SmackDown. I could see them adding, for SmackDown, I could see them adding 1 or 2 more matches for that pay-per-view. So we'll probably end up getting either 5 matches, 6 matches, or 7 matches on the card. We'll find out. Heading to the SmackDown Go Home show. Today. Now, your next WWE Tuesday afternoon news we have is on the 2023 Royal Rumble. The 2023 Royal Rumble is already breaking massive records. Can you guys believe it? Already, man. Wow. The next year hasn't even started yet, and there's already news on the 2023 Royal Rumble. Already breaking massive records, man. Jesus Christ. They will hold their annual Royal Rumble in San Antonio on January 28th. The show is already a hit among fans by the looks of it, because the 2023 event is likely to break a huge record. In fact, the event has already broken some huge records, from what I was told and from Ringside News was told too. The Royal Rumble Premium Live event next year will be the first annual pay-per-view under the Triple H regime. Or should I say, under the Triple H regime. He became the head of WWE Creative earlier this year. I got the word right this time. I got it right this time, man. I know more than what I'm saying. Trust me. Naturally, fans are very excited about it already. According to PW Insider, the upcoming Royal Rumble has broken the company's record for the largest gate in the event's 36-year history. Man, 36-year history. That's a long history there. Wow. Jeez Louise. It says here, and I quote, WWE Royal Rumble 2023, slated for Saturday, January 28th, has broken the company's record for longest gate in the event's 36-year history. And they go on to say over the weekend, the Royal Rumble surpassed the 5 million mark in previously record holder from 2017. The last time the event was held at San Antonio's Alumo Dome. This carries a 2022 trend into 2023, where WWE set gate records for many of its events. Get your minds out of the gutter. They're not talking about females showing their belly and their freaking abs and booty and body and stuff. Get your minds out of the gutter. They're not talking about that kind of trend. Now, including WrestleMania, Extreme Rules, and Crown Jewel. The Royal Rumble event next year will be one of the biggest events in many years. Fans are very excited about the event, and we'll have to wait and see whether it will end up living up to the hype or not. What do you guys think WWE breaking the record? Sound off in the live chat, please. Now, your next WWE Tuesday afternoon news we have here is on Brandy Rose's husband, Cody Rhodes. Now, Cody Rhodes is expected by many fans to return on time for the 2023 Royal Rumble match. If he comes back, it might be like Daniel Bryan in 2014. Legitimately, where supporters will not accept any other winner. Cody Rhodes' wife, Brandy Rhodes, recently stated that he appears to be ready to return to the ring. This week, former AEW WWE talent Brandy Rhodes was interviewed on Fall's 10 Count. She was there to promote her podcast, to discuss her family and her future aspirations in and out of wrestling. She also discussed Cody Rhodes' rehab. Cody, according to Brandy, needs to wrestle again because it's in his blood. She also provided an update on his health, which she said is now really good. Brandy also, that's good news to hear. But Brandy also shared she accompanied Cody to the physical therapist and was impressed with how he now looks. Brandy also added that it appears that nothing ever happened to Cody. As you all know, Brandy is my KFC general manager's name. My KFC general manager's name, Brandy, but hers is with a Y at the end of her name. Brandy Rose, this Brandy has an I at the end of her name. Brandy Rose also added that it appears that nothing ever happened to Cody. As they previously reported, Cody had to undergo surgery a few months ago to repair his torn pectoral. That sounds sickening. That sounds bad. Sounds painful too. Brandy stated that his recovery is going well and that he appears to be ready to return to the ring. It says here, and I quote, this is what she said. She said, he needs to wrestle. It's in his blood. It's part of his makeup. But now he's been great through all of this. And she goes on to say, all of the work that he's been doing to get back has been really good. I went with him to his physical therapist yesterday to finally see, because he's been raging on me the entire time. You haven't come. You haven't come. You have to come. So I'm like, okay, I'm coming to see. I was really just impressed with how he looks now. He doesn't look like anything happened, which is crazy because he had major surgery. He looks like the same Cody to me. So then she says the muscle mass is all there. You know, he looks ready to me. But I'm not a doctor. End quote. As Brandy stated, all that is required now is the doctor's approval, and Cody will be in the ring shortly. Now, when he returns, when he enters the Royal Rumble, he needs to be the one to win the Royal Rumble, so we can get the Roman Reigns Cody Rhodes feud that we've all been wanting to see. And when we get Cody Rhodes Roman Reigns feud, we can get Roman Reigns defending his WWE Championship against Cody Rhodes for whatever pay-per-view is coming up at the Royal Rumble. then we can get Roman Reigns immediately dropping his title, dropping his WWE Championship to Cody Rhodes. So that way, Cody Rhodes will be the new face of WWE and will be the new champion, the new WWE champion of WWE. So when Roman Reigns drops the title to Cody Rhodes will be the new WWE champion. I think it makes sense. I think that's the next thing. That should be the next thing going forward, going into the next pay-per-view after the Royal Rumble. If not, then maybe that should be saved for the next pay-per-view after the other one. That's just me. I think Roman Reigns should drop the title to Cody Rhodes at the next pay-per-view after the Royal Rumble. I think it would make sense. I want to see it happen, and I'm pretty sure the entire IWC community that are fans of Cody Rhodes wants to see it happen too. So we'll see. We'll see what happens when Cody Rhodes comes back. Now, what are y'all's thoughts on that story? Let me know. Now, I got some news on the Demolition. So apparently there's a call for Demolition to receive WWE Hall of Fame introductions. There is a call for Demolition to receive WWE Hall of Fame inductions during the 1980s and 1990s of the WWE. Demolition was one of the top tag teams in the company. They held the tag titles 3 times. They were the longest tag team champions before the New Day broke the record. Now there is a call for them to be in the WWE Hall of Fame. In his Kelk This podcast, WWE Hall of Famer Kevin Nash told co-host Sean Oliver that he wonders why the team is not in the Hall of Fame. Nash also put them over as tough competitors because they are from Minnesota. He says here, and I quote, "They were all tough. Even like a guy like Barry Dorso, just a sweetheart of a guy," says Kevin Nash. And then he goes on to say, "Would hook your eye in a heartbeat. I mean, how is Demolition not in the Hall of Fame?" Kevin Nash questions that, and quote, "There have been rumors that Vince McMahon wouldn't put Demolition in the WWE Hall of Fame because the team was named as part of a class action lawsuit against WWE that wrestlers incurred traumatic brain injuries during their time in the company. The New Day breaking their record of longest reigning tag team champions was also an interesting time. That lawsuit was later dismissed by U.S. District Judge Vanessa Lynn Ryan in September 2018. Now with Vince McMahon gone, and with Stephanie McMahon and Triple H in charge of WWE, maybe the induction could happen. Only time will tell what way Triple H goes by this sort of thing. Do you guys want to see Demolition in the WWE Hall of Fame? I mean, they deserve to be in the WWE Hall of Fame, if you ask me. They need to be. Do you guys think they should be in the Hall of Fame? Let me know in the live chats, please. And then your last and final WWE Tuesday afternoon news is on WrestleMania. So apparently, this is what I got from my sources. Apparently, WrestleMania is possibly heading to Nashville. WrestleMania is one of the world's largest entertainment events. It reaches more than 1 billion homes in 57 countries annually. WrestleMania is likely heading to Nashville, provided a proposed stadium is built in the next 5 years. Mike Organ at the Tennessean reports that Butch Spyrighten, CEO of the Nashville Convention, and visitors park met with WWE about holding WrestleMania in Nashville. Things heated up after Mayor John Cooper. I don't know why I was thinking that was the word major, but it was not. It said mayor. They both almost sound the same to me. But Mayor John Cooper and the Tennessee Titans produced a draft for the Nashville's new potential stadium. The CEO talked about having a wonderful experience when WWE hosted its 2002 when they hosted second biggest event, SummerSlam in Nashville last year. I don't know why I'm suddenly feeling kind of dizzy a little bit, just kind of sleepy. I don't know. I don't know if I overslept again or what. Maybe. Says here, and I quote, that WWE had an incredible experience at Nissan Stadium this past summer. And we started talking. WrestleMania is considered the number 6 top sports event brand in the world. And then they go on to say, we are grateful for their confidence and belief in Nashville. End quote. Spy Raiden went on to praise the massive reach of WrestleMania. He compared it to Nashville's biggest 4th-day country festival, CMA Fest, and said that WrestleMania is 2-3 times greater in terms of I don't even want to say the word, man. I don't even want to say it. In terms of impact. Yeah, give me a break. Nobody watches Impact Wrestling. Nobody gives a shit about Impact. I mean, I just want to throw that out there. I'm telling you now. It says here, and I quote, WrestleMania is the number 1 most followed sports brand on social media platforms, and described WrestleMania as CMA Fest on steroids, equivalent to 2 to 3 CMA Fests in 1 week in terms of impact. End quote. WWE released a statement confirming its intention to come to Nashville, provided the proposed stadium is built. Now, this is undoubtedly an exciting announcement for fans all around that region. It goes on to say Nashville has exploited as a cultural center in the United States and as the land of opportunity. WWE looks forward to hosting many events in partnership with the great city of Nashville at the proposed enclosed stadium. The 2023 host will be SoFi Stadium in Los Angeles. In 2024 will be Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia. Sites beyond 2024 have not been announced as of yet. Only time will tell where WWE takes the grandest stage of them all next. All right, guys, that's going to do it for your WWE Tuesday afternoon news. Now we're going to go over your AEW Tuesday afternoon news. Let's start with your AEW Tuesday afternoon news on Jon Moxley. So apparently, Jon Moxley achieves huge milestone in AEW after Full Gear. It says here that Jon Moxley made his debut at AEW Double or Nothing 2019 and became a megastar there in no time. He won his first AEW world title at AEW Revolution back in 2020 and afterwards. He won the title 2 more times. He also crossed a huge milestone in AEW recently. Jon Moxley defended his AEW world title against MJF at Full Gear, and a truly unexpected turn in events. William Regal turned on Jon Moxley, allowed MJF to defeat Moxley to become the new champion. Following what happened at Full Gear, Jon Moxley now has the longest combined days reigning as AEW World Champion, with 347 days in his 3 reigns so far. This is 1 day more than Kenny Omega's reign, which was 346 days. Moxley held the title for 277 days in his first reign. 11 days in his second, and 59 in his third. So we'll have to wait and see whether Jon Moxley will be taking a break from AEW now that he is no longer a champion. What is y'all's take on this milestone? Sound off in the live chat, please. All right, moving on to the next AEW Tuesday afternoon news. This one's on Andrade El Idolo. Andrade El Idolo debuted in AEW last year following a mediocre run on the WWE main roster. Unfortunately, his run in AEW didn't turn out all that great either, by a long shot. Now it seems his time at AEW might just be done. Andrade El Idolo was also invited in a backstage altercation with, involved in a backstage altercation with Sammy Guevara, where Andrade showed up to AEW Dynamite just to fight the Spanish guy over some Twitter activity. He was actually sent home before AEW Dynamite. Many fans believe he was done with AEW for good, which is why he tried to get fired. The Mexican star took to his Instagram and uploaded a post where he said goodbye and thank you to fans, seemingly hinting at his exit. That sounds bad. That's not good for AEW. But if somebody wants to go, if somebody is requesting the release and saying that they want to get released because they're not getting not enough TV time or they're not getting used right creatively on TV, then Tony Khan needs to let that person go. If they don't want to be there, let them go. Since they're not cool, I just want to say thank you. Bye. End quote. Andrade El Idolo was also recently hospitalized. I have to wait and see whether Andrade El Idolo will leave AEW or not. What is y'all's take on Andrade El Idolo and AEW? I will show you guys the actual tweet from Andrade. I'm getting ready to pull it up right now for you guys, in case you want to see it, in case you don't understand what I mean by his tweet saying what he said. Bingo, voila. There it is, guys. There is the tweet from Andrade. That's what he said. He said it in English and Spanish. So that was the post that Andrade made on Instagram. I called it a tweet. I don't know why I called it a tweet, thinking he tweeted it out on Twitter. What's y'all's take on Andrade El Idolo? Let me know. I really appreciate it. Now, moving on to your next AEW Tuesday afternoon news. This one is on Britt Baker. As you guys know, Britt Baker got Jamie Hayter her job in AEW. Just want to remind you guys. Baker has worked very hard to improve herself and become one of the best female wrestlers in AEW, no question about it. I got nothing negative to say about it at all. Now, due to her status in AEW, it is not hard to see she has some pull backstage in the company. In fact, Baker even got Jamie Hayter her job in AEW. AEW full gear. Jamie Hayter squared off against Toni Storm for the AEW Inter Women's World Championship. Against all odds, Hayter managed to beat Storm for the title. While speaking on the dumb Busted Open radio, Britt Baker talked about her love for Jamie Hayter. In fact, Baker revealed that she handpicked Hayter for the job in AEW. She went on to give Hayter a ton of props. It says here, and I quote, I'm so incredibly proud of Jamie. I mean, I literally handpicked Jamie. I went to Tony Khan and said, hey, we need this girl because I wrestled her in the UK in a dive bar years ago. And we've been friends ever since. And then she goes on to say, I am Jamie's #1 fan. There's nobody out there that wants Jamie to win this title more than I do. It is her time. Then she goes on to say, this is Jamie Hayter's era right now, and I get to be along for the ride. That quote. We'll have to wait and see how Jamie Hayter will be booked as the interim AEW Women's Champion in the coming months. It's possible that Hayter will have Britt Baker to face down the line. No, not right now. And let's be honest. To be honest, despite the fact that Hayter deserves to be AEW Interim Women's Champion, she should have already been AEW Interim Women's Champion since All Out. I've said it for weeks. If Thunder Rosa defended her AEW Women's Championship instead of going out with injury with the title, they would have never introduced the AEW Interim Women's Champion. They would have never came up with that idea. The Interim Women's Championship would have never existed. But now here it is on television, all because Thunder Rosa is still not coming back from injury. Thunder Rosa, this is what needs to happen right now. Now that Jamie Hayter is AEW Interim Women's Champion. Jamie Hayter is one of my favorite female talents. I'm a huge fan of Jamie Hayter's work, her gimmick, and her entrance, and her looks. Now she fine as hell. Trust me. She really is. But I would love for AEW to have Thunder Rosa come back and defend her AEW World Women's Championship against Jamie Hayter in a unification match for AEW Revolution. It needs to happen at Revolution, not Winter is Coming. It needs to happen at Revolution. That's where it needs to happen. You need to give this storyline time to develop and build. If you want to do a Thunder Rosa Jamie Hayter storyline, you need to book the match for Revolution. The storyline needs to last until that pay-per-view, not until Winter is Coming. I just don't see this feud lasting until Winter is Coming. I just don't see it. I just don't see it happen. I would be shocked if they actually booked the match for Winter is Coming, the unification match. I would be, legitimately. That's just me. And then have Thunder Rosa drop that title to Jamie Hayter, to turn heel on Toni Storm. We get a Thunder Rosa Toni Storm feud in AEW. We get Thunder Rosa as a heel, feuding with babyface Toni Storm. And then Jamie Hayter will unify both titles and become the first ever AEW Undisputed Women's Champion. So I'm going to explain it again. We need to have Thunder Rosa come back and defend the AEW Women's Championship against Jamie Hayter at least either, as long as it's a pay-per-view. I will say this, as long as it's a pay-per-view, I'm fine with it. Now, my question is Winter is Coming an actual pay-per-view? That's what I want to know. That's what I want to know. I think the unification match should take place, in my honest opinion, at Revolution. I said it like 3-4 times. And when the unification match happens at Revolution, Thunder Rosa needs to lose to drop that AEW World Women's Championship to Jamie Hayter, so Jamie Hayter can unify both titles. Then that gives Thunder Rosa the chance to turn heel on Toni Storm. We get heel Thunder Rosa Toni Storm feud going forward, going all the way into the next pay-per-view. Maybe. I think that's the way to go about it, if you ask me. I don't know what they're going to do with Britt Baker, but they better think long and hard, because the women's division is still going to need her, whether these simps online like it or not. What's y'all's take on what Britt said? Let me know in the live chats. Now, there's some news on Jungle Boy. apparently he is eyeing new title shot in AEW. So, Jungle Boy Jack Perry is famous for his Tarzan gimmick among AEW fans. His wrestling prowess and charisma earned him a place as one of AEW's 4 pillars, an unofficial term coined to refer to homegrown AEW stars poised to be main event stars in the future. Now, listen to this, guys. The rest of the AEW stars making up the AEW's 4 pillars, including MJF, Darby Allin, Sammy Guevara. After Guevara, MJF, and Allin have tasted gold. Jungle Boy wants to be next. In a recent interview with comicbook.com, Jungle Boy Jack Perry spoke about his desire to hold every title in AEW, having already knocked one title off the list. The former AEW World Tag Team Champion has set his sights on his next target. This is what it says. It says here, and I quote, "I think my goal is, at one point or another, to hold every belt that there is AEW. I would just like to keep working up. I got the tag team belts out of the way early in the career. I like the TNT belt. I like that would be a cool one. I got to be the first challenger to the TNT Championship when Cody Rhodes first won the belt, and that felt pretty cool. So I like to circle back around and maybe actually take it this time." Perry recently appeared on AEW's Full Gear 2022 show, opening the main portion of the card by defeating former tag team partner Luchasaurus in a steel cage match. During that match, Jungle Boy paid tribute to Shawn Michaels, sporting similar gear from Michaels' iconic Hell in a Cell match against The Undertaker in 1997. After MJF's World Championship victory at Full Gear, Jungle Boy is the only member of the AEW 4 pillars to not only hold singles gold in AEW. It remains to be seen whether that changes in the near future. Remember, guys, on my WWE AEW Monday afternoon news live stream, I talked about dream opponents that MJF could defend his title against. We could see MJF versus Jungle Boy, MJF versus Darby Allin, MJF versus Bryan Danielson, MJF versus Wheeler Yuta again, MJF versus Claudio Castagnoli, MJF versus Ricky Starks. You know we're going to get that for Winter's Coming. MJF versus Wardlow. MJF versus Orange Cassidy. MJF, well, I don't know about MJF versus Danhausen, but that would be an entertaining match. That would be a hilarious match right there. MJF versus Danhausen. Give it that. Danhausen has that devil gimmick. It would be funny. It would be a very hilarious match. MJF versus Kenny Omega. We could get MJF versus Kenny Omega. We could have Don Callis and William Regal involved in the feud. We could see Don Callis and William Regal face to face, facing each other, talking trash. That's a match we can see. If they ever turn Adam Heyman Page babyface, we can get MJF versus Adam Heyman Page, and we can get John Silver versus MJF, and then all the other members of Dark Order versus MJF. Dante Martin versus MJF would be great as well. Matt Sydal versus MJF would be good. Konosuke versus MJF, that's a match. That's a good match. That's a match that people would want to see probably. I'm trying to think what other matches, what other baby faces they got in that division that he would defend against. He can defend that title against Sting. Sting still got it. He's still great in the ring. Who else? Well, he could defend that title against Keith Lee. We could see Keith Lee versus MJF. I didn't even think of that. I think that's all the baby faces they have in that division, to be honest. I don't see any new upcoming baby faces so far in that division. Yep. So you got a lot of baby faces. MJF has a lot of baby faces that he can defend his AEW World Championship against. We talked about this on the AEW Monday afternoon news live stream. He has a lot of opponents, man. The first match for MJF's title defense is going to be against Ricky Starks at Winter is Coming. It's going to happen, whether people like it or not. All right? It's going to happen, man. Now, it does remain to be seen whether changes will be made in the near future, which they will, in my own opinion. They definitely will, man. And guys, finally, your final AEW Tuesday afternoon news for November the 2nd, 2022 is news on William Regal's segment being made official for AEW Dynamite. So, William Regal's contributions to the pro wrestling world are always a topic of discussion for a good reason. Lord Regal is truly evil in his actions at AEW Full Gear proved that point. He is also set to be on AEW Dynamite this week, which will be tomorrow night. Jon Moxley defends his AEW World title against MJF at Full Gear. At a shocking turn of events, William Regal betrayed Jon Moxley and allowed MJF to beat Moxley and become the new champion. After he gave MJF those famous breast knuckles. Since then, fans have been waiting to see what Regal would have to say regarding his actions at Full Gear. AEW took to Twitter and officially announced that William Regal will be appearing on the show in a segment. Just here, and I quote, we'll hear from Real King Regal for the first time since AEW Full Gear, where he cost Jon Moxley the AEW World Championship. Tomorrow on the Thanksgiving Eve, Wednesday night, AEW Dynamite from the Trust Arena in Oni, New York, at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central on TBS Network. End quote. So we will have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see what William Regal will have to say regarding his shocking actions at AEW Full Gear. Fans are certainly excited to hear what he will have to say. The lineup for AEW Dynamite tomorrow night is the AEW World Title Eliminator Tournament Finals, Ethan Page versus Ricky Starks, AEW All-Atlantic Championship, Orange Cassidy versus Jack Hager, Ring of Honor World Champion Chris Jericho versus Ishii. We got match 2 in Death Triangle in the Elite's Best 7 series for the AEW World Trios Championship. And we got the William Regal to explain why MJF won the AEW World Heavyweight title. Are you guys excited for Dynamite? Let me know in the live chats below. I'm getting out of here, guys. That's going to do it for your AEW Tuesday afternoon news. If you enjoyed hearing the news that I got for you guys so far, that I gave you guys, please comment, hit the thumbs up. Also, I am recruiting YouTube moderators. So if anybody wants to be my YouTube moderator, let me know. Let me know by this week or next week at least. Because I'm going to need more YouTube moderators because some of my YouTube moderators are not doing their jobs, man. They're not doing a good job. I need YouTube moderators that will be in the live chat for my reviews and watch-alongs every week. And when I say, and when I want somebody booted, when I mean boot that person, I mean get him out of my chat. When I mean I want that person booted, I want that person booted immediately. Now, out of my chat. I tried to get one of my moderators to boot XX Fun out of my chat, but they wouldn't do it, so I had to do it myself. Don't worry, I'll have reliable actual moderators that will actually listen to me. So I'm not worried. Anyways, guys, I'm getting out of here. Thank y'all so much for joining the live chat, for your Raw review, and for your WWE and AEW Tuesday afternoon news. My AEW Dynamite, November the 23rd, 2022 watch along will be tonight. And a little after that, the review will be live. Then I'll be live with my AEW Full Gear watch along, watching the Full Gear pay-per-view this Thursday afternoon. And then Thursday night, I might stream either WWE 2K22 or maybe Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2, because there is a new DLC out for Xenoverse 2 that I want to try out, so I may stream that game. I'm thinking about it. I will try to put some thought into it. Plus, my AEW Rampage watch along will be live this Friday night. I won't be live with the SmackDown watch along because I will be at the bowling alley. So, if anybody has any questions, please let me know. Or you can sound off in the comments when the stream ends. I will see you guys in the live chat for Dynamite. And most importantly, stay safe always. I'll see you guys later.